How does $27 million sound to you?
$100 billion.
Gentlemen, silence.
Well, that's exactly what Dennis Rodman made in his career, arguably the greatest rebounder of all time, and the only thing he really cared about was rebounding. I'm Coach Sam, your basketball trainer and shot doctor, and lucky for you, you've now came across the best and only rebounding video that you need to become a beast on the boards. I'm going to give you 7 steps, and if you stay to the very end, I will give you a breakdown of a college basketball practice actually implementing and showing these drills. Okay, for demonstration purposes, this chair is going to be the offensive player. I am obviously the defensive player. The shot has gone up, and now it's time for the first step, and that is to hit. Step number 1 is to hit the offensive player, literally with a forearm right to their chest, right around the sternum area. So as he's coming as an offensive rebounder, I'm going to hit him nice and low with a good center of gravity. While I'm on balance, I'm going to stop his momentum and I'm going to hit. We're on to step number 2, which is going to be to pivot. So I hit and then I pivot. Now I can see the basket. I can start locating the basketball. Step number 3 is to create a rebounding area. We need an area to rebound. We do not want to be caught right underneath the net where we don't have any rebound area. So after we hit and we pivot, we want to then drive that defender backwards. Okay, we're backpedaling, we're low, and we're driving him backwards in order to create a rebounding area for us. Before we move on to the next step, I'm going to talk about weak side rebounding, and I'm going to give you a huge cheat code to help you with your weak side rebounding. It has been statistically studied that the majority, somewhere around 75 to 80% of shots that are shot on one side end up on the weak side, on the opposite side, because you are often underneath the net, and as that shot goes up, you usually do not have enough time to backpedal and push the defender out so that you have a good enough rebound area. The ball hits and goes over your head. So let me give you a cheat code. Let me give you a huge tip and suggestion to help you fix this problem. If I change my angle, instead of going backwards, I'm going to take this high side and drive them out of bounds. By driving them out of bounds, I've now created an entire quarter of the court for my rebounding area. This rebounding area compared to this rebounding area. We're now on to step 4. We've hit, we've pivoted, and we've created a rebounding area. Now it's time for what I call the load up phase. And this is where we're going to have those legs bent, and we're going to ferociously and violently, athletically get ready from here to jump as high as we can, loading up our legs to jump and spring up in the air to snatch that rebound, ideally with 2 hands, but if it's off the side, we might need to catch it and snag it with 1 hand and bring it to the other hand. Step 5, as we load up and jump, we want to land with a strong, balanced base. That's going to be a little bit wider than our shoulder width apart. If my feet are too narrow, I can easily get pushed off to the side. So when we grab that ball, we want to come down and land with a strong, solid base, our knees comfortably bent, and we're not falling over to the side. Step 6, as we get the ball, we land on a good base, we want to chin it. Our elbows are out in case somebody tries to swipe it, they're going to hit our elbows, and we're chinning it. If somebody swipes it up, it might hit our chin, but we're not losing the ball. Okay, we have a strong grip on it, we're not losing it. And step 7 is to simply pivot and either look for your outlet or begin the fast break. I've chinned it, I'm either looking for my outlet, my guard, or if you are a guard, I'm going to go ahead and rip it, and I'm beginning my fast break. Just real quick, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. I know I've taught you something already. Even the weak side rebounding tip I gave you should really help you with your rebounding. Let's jump right back into it. Now let's really dig into offensive rebounding, where you are on the offensive end and you're crashing the glass. Let's talk about what's important to become a great offensive rebounder. First, we're talking about if the ball is shot and you're anywhere on the perimeter. The term that we like to use is we want you to look like you were shot out of a cannon. So I'm here, maybe the offense is going on, that ball goes up. I'm putting my head down and I'm sprinting as hard as I can those first 2 or 3 steps like I am shot out of a cannon. I'm not tippy-toeing around. I'm shot out of a cannon, going as hard and as aggressively as I can go. Next, we've already touched on this. The ball is going to end up on the weak side 75 to 80% of the time. So as I go and I'm shot out of a cannon, I want to start making my way over to the weak side for the rebound. Once we are headed to the weak side, as hard as we can go, it's important that we think about getting our shoulder by the defender. We do not want to just run into his back. That's exactly what we do not want to do. You're going to get called for an over-the-back foul, and you're not going to be a good offensive rebounder. Instead, get your shoulder by the defender. And I'm going to give you several different ways to do that right now. So the first method to get by your defender, I'm running to the weak side. I'm going to fake one way and then do a swim move around him, attacking the weak side like we talked about. The second method is going to be a spin move. Same type of movement. I'm going to fake one way, spin move off of him, and I'm attacking the weak side now for the rebound. Once we've gotten by the defender by one of our moves, it's now going back to the defensive tips I've given you. There's nothing against the rules that says that you cannot block out from an offensive standpoint. So once I get inside position, I'm now going back to those 7 things I talked to you about in the defensive rebounding. I'm going to hit. I'm going to pivot on him. I'm going to work on a rebounding area, catch it at its highest point, land on a strong base. All the same things we talked about from a defensive rebounding standpoint. Here's a few drills to work on your rebounding. You can simply work on throwing it off the backboard, catching it at its highest point with 2 hands, landing with a solid base. Next, you can work on throwing it and trying to hit the rim, so you have to react to where it's going to go. And doing the same thing. Those are some of the best rebounding drills that you can do on your own. But to be honest with you, it is hard to practice rebounding on your own. What you need to do is work on it all the time in practice. Offensively, if you're a guy that's able to crash the glass, do it relentlessly like I talked about. Be a person that's shot out of a cannon, get your shoulder by all the time. Same thing defensively. Be a player that constantly hits and pursues the ball. Those are the best ways to become great at rebounding. Beyond that, watch my video that I've posted right here where I talk about the best lower leg exercises to do so that you can get a higher vertical, jump higher, and get more rebounds. As promised, I'm now going to show you an actual college basketball practice from Colorado State. We were the #1 rebounding team in the country.
All right, I've circled 2 players here on the offensive end, and I really want you to pay attention to how aggressively they attack the glass, and how they really work on getting their shoulder by. They're using the techniques that I've talked about in the video. They are attacking relentlessly. They are shot out of a cannon. They're working on getting inside position. And they're doing their best to go get it with 2 hands and land with a solid base once they do get it. You can see their swim move, and you can really see them getting their shoulder by the guy that's trying to block them out. This is so important if you want to be a great rebounder. And if you'd like, go ahead and replay this. You can also watch the defensive players and see their efforts in trying to block out the offensive players from crashing. This is what it needs to look like if you want to become a great rebounder. This is a college level practice. We're one of the best rebounding teams in the country.
Pursuing the ball is a skill, and if you become great at rebounding, you can get more playing time, you can play at a higher level, and you can become more successful. If you've learned anything in this video, hit the subscribe button. I post weekly videos about basketball shooting and basketball training. I can help you to become a better player. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.